Hello, Johnny from Eurogamer here. I've been playing quite a bit of The Division recently, so I thought I'd share my initial thoughts thus far. I'll stress at this point, this is not a review, nor am I the person reviewing The Division for Eurogamer. Martin's handling that, his review will be along in due course, but he's also got some first impressions on the site. You can find a link in the description of this video. Anyway, The Division, how is it? It's really good actually, thank you for asking. It's much better than I thought it was going to be, and I'm having much more fun than I did during the beta, which is a pleasant surprise. Generally speaking, I'm not a massive fan of games set in cities, but The Division's rendering of New York is genuinely really impressive and a fun place to explore. There's a lot of density and verticality to it, making it quite entertaining to just poke around in. Unsurprisingly, this being an Ubisoft game, it's also full of things to wander off and collect. Now that might sound like it's falling into the same trap as Assassin's Creed, whereby it litters the game map with pointless things designed to distract you, thereby getting in the way of itself, but they've toned it down for The Division. Honest. There's still loads of stuff that will distract you, don't get me wrong, but in this case it adds to the sense of a populated city, rather than taking away from the core experience. Maybe that should be mostly abandoned city. Anyway, it's a lot like the emergent stuff in Red Dead Redemption. It contributes to the world, and it also makes it a nice place to potter around in. When you're not noodling around looking for things to pick up or rats to shoot though, you're probably going to be on some kind of mission. It's in the cover-based gunplay that The Division truly shines, which is fortunate seeing how that's the meat of the main game. At its best, The Division requires you to talk tactics with your teammates and cooperate to the best of your ability, lest you get flanked and everything goes to pot. One or two of the boss encounters I've had have seemed dauntingly hard, but when you succeed, it genuinely feels exciting. Martin and I got stuck on one mission that was really testing us, but with each failed attempt, we could feel ourselves getting closer to victory. Eventually we pulled it off, and it was genuinely exciting.
And we are back in business.
Oh my god.
It looks stable, the lights are on. No one's shot out anyway.
It looks like Times Square.
Your skills and perks also enable you to go for a very palpable character build, which is great. I've gone all out assault on PS4, and it's been really nice to provide a counterpoint to those playing as healers. On the downside, some of the bosses can be a bit samey, which is a bit of an arse. I've faced the same giant man with flamethrower and loads of health boss twice now, and it's not so much that they look identical, pretty much everyone in The Division does, but the tactics for dealing with both are exactly the same as well. You keep your distance and you kite him around the map while shooting the tanks on his sides until his armour is gone, then you murder him dead. Seeing the same boss pop up again and behave in the same way sucked the sense of challenge out of what could have been a fun new encounter, making us revert back to standard operating procedure. In fact, my main reservation with The Division's gunplay is the set pieces are often very easy to read. A lot of the big fights are wave-based, so it's really easy to start exploiting that structure. In the 6-hour livestream we did on launch day, for instance, a couple of us had connection issues and got booted out of a fight. There was only one enemy left in the area, so we knew it was vital to keep that one person alive and not kill them until everyone else was back in the room, because we'd be facing a fresh wave straight after that. At times like this, it's really easy to see the strings in The Division, which personally takes something away from the experience. The AI, truth be told, also isn't perfect. It's good, but when it falls down in very telling ways. Enemies aren't very smart at reacting when fired on from an elevated position, for instance, the baseball bat wielding ones especially. I've had more than a few just stand still and wait patiently to be shot. Similarly, suppressing an enemy is far too powerful. When an enemy is suppressed, they get their head down and don't move, even when you walk up and start shooting them in the back. They're so preoccupied with the suppressing fire that they don't react at all to other sources of damage, which makes it feel like a bit of a cheese. Hopefully this is something they can patch out relatively soon. But anyway, all in all the gameplay is pretty robust for The Division, if a bit rough around the edges, and the important thing is it's jam-packed with loot. I put out a video after The Division's open beta saying the loot system was both cool and boring, and looking back, I think I underestimated the loot system in that piece. I stand by the fact it's hard to get excited about a new set of knee pads because they're really drab, but mostly my concerns over the loot system have been swept aside by a healthy fixation with increasing my character stats. So yeah, I'm willing to admit I was wrong. Division loot, you're drab, but you're alright. While we're talking about things being downbeat though, The Division is pretty bleak. Pretty much every bit of intel I've encountered so far, every video, every echo, every phone recording, has either been desperately sad or filled with horrifying scenes like some police officers being surrounded in their car by the bodies of their lynched colleagues before calmly getting gunned down, that sort of thing. Obviously Ubisoft is going for a gritty vibe with The Division, and that's fine, for the most part it really works. But there's a strange discord between the game saying, "Hooray, you found the thing, have some XP," and then that thing being a detailed record of how some people got burned alive while screaming for mercy. People in The Division can be sorted into three categories: the dead, so that's most of New York, the dying, aka civilians, and people holding guns, who are pretty much the only ones who seem in any way vital or alive in the game. The story does have some lofty goals about taking back New York and giving it back to the people, sure, but it's a pretty thin veneer. You've got your heroic government agents, the people they ignore except for when they feel like forking over canned food, and the people they kill. That's it. So when you think about it, it's kind of impressive The Division can be such giddy fun in spite of its bleak backdrop. Maybe that's because you're one of the people holding a gun, but try not to think about that too hard. So yeah, Tom Clancy's The Division. It's really, really good fun, though I am curious to see how much long-term appeal it actually has. Let me know your thoughts so far, and why not check out some of the other stuff we've done on The Division. Ian played for 6 hours straight, which is more a testament to his bladder capacity than his skill in-game, I think. We also took a look around Ubisoft Manhattan, an Easter egg-laden safe house, or maybe you'd like a trailer about the expansions planned for The Division's first year. Either way, thanks for watching, and please do like and subscribe for plenty more from Eurogamer.